Perfect Turd Podcast, episode 276, Lamar, Street Trash.
Well, Joe, we didn't explore, we witnessed the uprising of the homeless against the establishment. Pretty much a lot of people blowing up and getting their guts just splattered all over the place.
Well,
Yeah.
it goes without saying, this is like a reboot, a remake, more of a reboot because
Yeah.
it's not really the same story. Get
Yeah.
into it, Lamar. What do we think of our first category, which is story?
This is in South Africa, right? I think a big corporation or the government has just taken over, and a lot of people don't have jobs anymore, so the streets are just littered with homeless people. One of them is Ronald and his friends and everything like that, Chef. But the government is like, we got to do something about this. So they devise like this gas to basically kill all the homeless people.
Yeah.
And Ronald and his and a new friend, her name is Alex, they lead the uprising against this government extermination of the homeless.
But I enjoyed the story as a whole. Like, it was silly. I'm on the fence of thinking if it was too long or not. Like, I thought it might have run just a touch long.
Maybe one part where I was like, okay, hurry up, but I still enjoyed the pacing of it.
I mean, and I have not seen the original, and I think you haven't seen the original, but we do know about it, and it does take a little bit of a different path with this story. What do you give it for story, Lamar?
I give it a 1.
I agree. 1 point. Well, Lamar, our next category is what do we think of the characters?
It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, they're homeless and they can be kind of nasty at times, but I did like these characters. Like, they kind of have like a camaraderie and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
well, Ronald, who's he is the hero, but he's kind of a drug addict and a
Depraved.
prostitute.
Yeah.
Very depraved. He has his friend Chef. They get along. They work together. They have the twins. And then they do rescue a young woman who's recently homeless. Oh, they have the one guy. He's hallucinating the whole time.
He hallucinates a imaginary friend that's some kind of little creature that tells him what to do.
He's crazy.
Yeah.
He has a little blue friend that says some of the nastiest stuff, is pretty much a crazed sex fiend.
Yeah.
But no one else can see him because he's pretty much a product of his
That was a
imagination.
good character.
That was a good character.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised you didn't say there was too many characters, Lamar. That's usually your thing.
But here's the thing. They're all different. They all add something to the story. Even the villain, the mayor.
Like I said, they're not perfect characters as far as like they're not all good.
Yeah.
You know, in a way, like they're a little, they got problems, but they do have a camaraderie amongst each other that was good. They're good chemistry. So I'll give it 1 point for characters.
Agreed. 1.
Well, our next category, Lamar's, what do we think of the action?
Well, Joe, I mean, people get murked all up and down this. You have a random scene out of nowhere. We don't even know who this woman is. She does like a no-cut martial arts John Wickish action scene. But I was just like, wow, that was amazing. It's like little moments like that. That was really cool.
Yeah, there was a lot of cool stuff. This whole movie is, in a way, it's just everything's going to go over the top with it. So the action was fun. It was good. So what are you giving it?
I got to give it a 1, man.
I got to agree. I'm giving it 1 point for action. Well, our next category is what do we think of the comedy?
Everybody has their own little hijinks that they're up to when they're not fighting against the establishment, Joe.
Yeah, I thought for me the funniest part was the guy that was hallucinating the little creature. The creature guy was funny.
He was very funny.
And then the rest of it, it has some funny little gags and stuff. Of course, a lot of the chopping off the penises and all that.
What are you gonna do, Joe? What are you gonna do?
I'll give it 1 point for comedy, Lamar.
I agree. It did have me laughing at points. Like, it was just insane.
Well, our last category, and I think this one sums the whole movie up, the gore and special effects.
Is there any digital in this?
I don't think so.
If it was quick, but the practical sells it. The gas that they released on the homeless people melts people's face. It has like pus that comes out that's multicolored. They lose limbs. It's like a freaking smorgasbord of just over the top gore, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was great, and I think that was a staple of the original one too. Like I think all the bubbling and all the skin melting in this movie, it was great. It was just phenomenal. Like that they did that much special effects practical in this day and age, and just like just stuff shooting out everywhere. And
Yes.
I think it was part of the original too, but I did like the touch of it being different colors and kind of neon
Yeah.
colored stuff. I thought it was like great as far as special effects go. What are you giving it?
I gotta give it a 1.
Gotta do it. 1 point. Well, Lamar, we've tallied the score, and this movie got a 5 out of 5.
It's a story about resistance, fighting against the power. Even if your friends are a bunch of degenerates and stuff like that, you
Yeah.
gotta stay together and everything like that.
That's what it is. I think that this is like almost the perfect, crazy, wild B movie.
Yes.
Like if you're into that, if you love the trauma and all the wild, crazy 80s B movies and stuff with the gore, like this is for you. This is perfect.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Does that wrap it up then, Lamar?
Does.
Peace.
Deuces.